fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
We just got screwed, yes, and pardon my French, on an Unchurched podcast, but I wanted to get your attention with this because what I'm about to share here will impact every single one of you at some point in your life, if not something you're dealing with right now. And so we did get pretty royally screwed by someone who purposely, vengefully went after us out of jealousy, and found out who it was and kind of why they did it. And it was 100% just out of jealousy. And honestly, just kind of trying to steal some of our blessings and some of our favor and some of the amazing things that have happened here at Salt Strong. And, I thank goodness I've been doing these Unchurched. Thank goodness I've done multiple episodes on forgiveness. But I'm here to tell you, I was struggling, and I was struggling hard when I found out who it was, because it's someone I've met before, and it's someone I would have said would be a friend and someone I could rely on. And they literally, royally threw us under the bus. And not only that, went to the next level of getting other people involved just to try to make us look bad for something that we didn't even do wrong. That was the worst part. If we did something wrong, I'm going to apologize. But we didn't, and everyone knows it. And it still was very, very frustrating. I'm going to share exactly what happened with you and why. So I went to bed. I still hadn't completely forgiven the person. I was just a little bit mad. And I woke up and I'd already prayed to God that night. I was like, God, just speak through me. Give me the right message. Help me get out of this, little funk of anger and help me to move on. And it's Sunday morning early. I'm there in my office right here where I am right now. I'm by myself. And I pull up YouTube, just was going to start looking for a good message. And right there, old Joel Osteen, right there in front. And it was a message from back in March, so a little while ago. And it was called, "Can You Handle the Blessing?" And I don't know what it was. The headline didn't even really make sense to what I'm going through. I was more looking about how to control my anger and how to forgive someone for screwing me. And I clicked on it and I watched the whole thing. And I'm telling you, I was almost to the point of tearing up, because it was I'm looking at Joel Osteen. It's almost like he was staring at me, talking to me on exactly what I've been going through and exactly what I'm praying on. It's so cool and just miraculous how God puts that right message in front of our face. Like I said, the headline didn't even make sense, but it did once I listened to it. And the gist of it was, when you start to become blessed, when God starts to give you blessing in your life, whether it be through work, through your career, whether it be just in life in general and happiness or your kids' happiness, there are people who will be jealous and want to take you down. And I've seen it even when I moved neighborhoods one time. The people who are all my friends, and the second I moved up, because I did upgrade the house, if you will, all of a sudden some of those people were absolutely jealous and hurtful from some of the stuff that they were saying. And it was just it didn't make any sense just because we succeeded. We had this recently. 2 different people in the same month, just on a random YouTube comment, said, "I used to like you guys, Salt Strong, until you started making money and were able to buy a boat." That literally came out of their mouth. I was floored. I was like, wait a minute. So they were cheering us on when we, quit our jobs and literally struggled and couldn't even pay our bills for a while, literally going negative. They were all celebrating, "Yeah, you guys are doing good. I'm so proud of you for quitting your jobs and struggling." And the second we actually have any amount of success, and it wasn't like we got some crazy boat. It's a 24-foot Pathfinder that many people have. And literally people are tearing us down now because we've had some taste of success, because we're impacting people. It is just wild. And so I know this is going to happen to you if it hasn't already. It's probably happened to you multiple times when you have any taste of success or any taste of blessing. And this is God, giving you blessing. He's giving you favor, and there will be people who tear you down. So this entire episode is about that. So let me just explain what happened. So if you know our business model at Salt Strong, it's really three pieces. And it started off with education. That's what we always lead on. That's our main focus. Every day we wake up is like, all right, what are we going to teach today? What are we going to film? What videos are we going to do, both publicly and for our insiders? It's all about helping you get in the right spot at the right time to find more fish, to have just more fun out there and create more memories. That's number one. It's the videos, it's the how-to, it's the on-the-water tips, it's the spot dissections, it's the coaching, all the education stuff. And then we have our community, and that's the private community that we've built. It's at community.saltstrong.com. It's only for insider members. And now we have 20-something thousand members in there, and it's becoming really active. It's really amazing. And it's one of my favorite things, honestly, just because it feels like family, and it's just super positive. And then we have the tackle side, and the tackle side's still somewhat new. And when we started the tackle side, one thing we said is, hey, because we have a membership, let's kind of create it almost like Costco, right? Where you pay, or Amazon Prime, where you pay, a fee up front, a subscription service is a membership, and you get discounts. You get better deals than you would at just a normal tackle store. And so that obviously became very popular because people love saving money on good tackle. And we went out and cut the deals with all the big boys, the Shimanos and the Penns and the Daiwas. And if you're not into fishing, those are three of the bigger manufacturers and brands for rods and reels, et cetera. And so we had a face-to-face meeting, with Shimano. This is the one that, that recently happened here. And told them everything, and they loved it. And all these groups have a MAP pricing. You might have heard of MAP pricing in any kind of retail industry, and that's the minimum advertised price, meaning you can't go below this price in any type of advertisements. And because our club is private, and because you can't see the discounts unless you're actually logged in, we actually were not breaking any MAP rules. They agreed, very transparent. They had no problem with it whatsoever. And so many, many months go by, 8-9 months. We're doing well. We're sending a lot of business to these groups, meaning we're having to buy it with our own money. And then, we sell it to our members. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, we get an overnight letter from Shimano saying that you guys are terminated. Like, no call, no email. We have reps that, normally are very open with us and always talking to us. Obviously, they're trying to earn our business and get us to sell more, and nothing, like no warning, no nothing. And it was just very unprofessional. That left a bad taste in my mouth. And so we call them, and even talking to the guys, like, yeah, I've been told I'm not even supposed to talk to you guys. This is the guy at Shimano. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of, going through legal. I was like, well, did we do anything wrong? And he's like, well, between you and me, no. There's a lot of groups out there, and these are tackle stores, not consumers. We're obviously serving the consumer. We have a better mousetrap is what happened. And a lot of these tackle stores look at us as a threat. It is 100% jealous. They know we have a better mousetrap. We're not only giving people a better deal on the same tackle they sell, but we're teaching them how to use it and teaching them how to go catch more fish. And we have a community behind it. I mean, I would be scared to death if I was a tackle store right now, to be honest with you. And so what happened, a guy that we know, that we like, he saw this. He saw he was probably losing some business, and more people were coming to his store mentioning Salt Strong, what they learned here. And so he goes, behind the scenes and has someone, basically create a fake account with us, like just a short-term monthly account, and goes and takes screenshots of all the stuff behind the scenes. It doesn't just send it to Shimano, because Shimano already knew about it. This is, once again, the private stuff, not the advertised price. This is the private stuff. But then gets other people, basically forms his own little coup, if you will, and says, hey, guys, Salt Strong's doing this, and we need to take them down. They're going to hurt our business. It's, unfair that they're giving better deals to consumers. And they made such a stink about it that we got terminated. So I recently found out exactly who it was. And I'm telling you, I was just mad, naturally mad, because this impacts us. This impacts our people. This impacts our consumers who are counting on us to go get good products. This impacts, our revenue. This is how, we're supporting a lot of families with Salt Strong. This is not just some little slap on the wrist. We got completely terminated, done. Can't get the contract back. And so, I don't know. I was just stewing on it, and all of a sudden I hear this message from Joel. And it brought me back to a few other times in my life. And there was one, it was the very first taste I ever had of this. And I was in college, and I was working in construction through my dad has a he was the president of a textile engineering company that repaired anything with heat and furnaces. And it was dirty, dirty work. I mean, going into power plants and places where they basically shut down an incinerator or a power plant. And every day, every hour that it's not running, it's costing them crazy amounts of money. So it's like they literally shut it down to it's the point where it's safe to get in there. And then you're just hustling. And I realized, I'm working with all these union guys, and I'm the young dude, and I'm like busting my tail because I was raised to like work hard, right? And like, unless you're just completely out of energy, like keep working, do your best. And I started noticing that these guys that I'm working with on the job, they started treating me differently. And I found out that they went behind my back and went to the foreman and said they wanted me off the job because I was making them look bad because I wasn't taking a full hour-long lunch break. I'd take 20 minutes because I ate my food and I'm ready to get back to work. Like, hey, like let's right? This plant loses money every hour, every day it's down. Why don't we work harder? Like, well, that's not how it goes. We take hour-long lunch breaks. And literally these guys started hating me just because I was outworking them, because I was working hard. And I realized, wow, like, out of just complete jealous, they're just trying to steal everything that I was proud of doing. I was proud to work hard, just like you should be. You should be proud to succeed and to have success and have blessing and have God's favor. And yet there's people always wanting to take you down. And the same thing happened in my very first job. I got promoted after about 7 months. And, that means I got promoted from over some guys who had been in that same role for a year and a half, 2 years. And these were my buddies. We went to lunch every single day. We were like a little team. And the second I got promoted was kind of like the other side of the office, if you will. I noticed that, I wanted to go back to lunch with them. And they're like, we really don't want you coming around here anymore. Like, why don't you guys hang out with your new team? And it was so hurtful. And I still remember to this day because it's like, wow. The second I got promoted, I'm the same person, like nothing changed except I got a promotion because I was working hard. And all of a sudden people started treating me differently and talking behind my back. And, oh, Joe only got this because of this. And, he was sucking up to the boss. Like, I was like, what? It's because I outworked you fools. And yet they were trying to pull me down. And it did. It got in my head. And it's easy to get in someone's head like, oh, man, because I think how I'm wired, and maybe you're the same way. We want people to like us. We want to be loved. We don't want people to hate us or be talking trash behind our back. And it's tough. It's very, very tough. And so back to Joel, one of the first things he said is, when you start seeing blessing, when you start having blessing, which is why it's called Can You Handle the Blessing, you are guaranteed to have people come after you. And this is all just preparing you. This is all just prepping you to be stronger so that you continue to keep getting that blessing. So it's easy to get bitter. It's easy to get vengeful and not forgive. But I'm telling you, every time that you do that, you're never going to grow. And so the sooner you can ignore it, the quicker that you do grow. The sooner that you can actually not let jealous people steal your blessings, the more blessings that you will have. And it hit me so hard. And the second I saw it, I was like, you know what? I literally just started praying. I said, I'm going to forgive this person. I'm not going to mention their name, but I'm just going to forgive them and I'm going to move on. And one thing he said, and this is a prayer, and I hope I'm going to put this in the show notes too, that Joel said, and I wrote this down. It says, Father, you are in control. Thank you that you are fighting my battles. Thank you for what you started that no one can stop. I'm going to say that again because I get goosebumps when he said it. He said, Father, you are in control. Thank you that you are fighting my battles. And thank you for that what you started, no one else can stop. Man, that is powerful, powerful stuff. Because what I'm finding is he will silence your accusers. God will silence your accusers. He will silence those people who are against you. God has the final say. It's not some hater that you may or may not even know. And this could be family members sometimes that try to break you down and all of a sudden see that you're doing better. You're getting some blessings. And if you do the right stuff, and if you work hard and you pray and you have favor, you will find blessings. You will find favor. Great things will happen to you. And I'm just telling you, got to be prepared for someone to try to tear you down. It will happen. Every single time I feel like I'm getting to that next point, there's someone who's trying to tear me down. And I believe that this is like Satan just trying to distract us. This is the enemy trying to bait you into becoming completely distracted, into becoming anger. I mean, that's what I did last night, right? I'm sitting here angry at this person, and that's literally the enemy. You cannot grow. You cannot even think clearly when you're just filled with anger. And so just keep honoring God. God will take care of your critics. And I needed this message more than anyone because I'm dealing with it. And that's why I'm so glad I'm just blurting out all this stuff in my head, but he will. And the second I started saying that prayer, and the second I just forgave that person and says, you know what? God's got big plans for me. God, once again, he's got something that no one else can stop. So with God's blessings will come persecution. With God's blessings and God's favor will come some bad things, but you've got to run your own race. Don't run someone else's. Don't get out of your lane because someone's distracting you. Run your own race. I don't know if you guys can hear in the background, I've got a young son now screaming. He must need my help. So I'm going to get off this podcast. I love you. Guys, just put God first. Just trust in him, love him, and know that he has your back. Ignore the haters, move on, keep honoring God, and he will take care of the critics. Love you guys. Talk to you on the next episode.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul, it was past